Embracing failure, the pathway to success. Did you know that the world's most successful people have one thing in common? They all failed. And it was their failures that fueled their success. Listen to discover how embracing failure can unlock the success you've always dreamed of. Welcome to Media Deem, where we explore the transformative power of failure in this insightful audiobook, Embracing Failure, the Pathway to Success. Every successful journey is marked by challenges and setbacks, and this audiobook will show you how to turn those failures into stepping stones toward your ultimate success. If you're ready to shift your mindset and learn how to thrive in the face of adversity, this is for you. Summary focus points. The role of failure in personal and professional growth. Real-life examples of famous individuals who succeeded through failure. How to cultivate resilience and persistence in the face of setbacks. Practical strategies for turning failure into future success. The psychology behind embracing failure as a tool for progress. What you'll learn. How to reframe failure as a necessary part of growth. Proven techniques to overcome fear of failure. The mindset shifts that lead to long-term success. How to bounce back stronger after every setback. Practical steps to build resilience and maintain motivation. Focus point 1. The role of failure in personal and professional growth. Failure plays a fundamental role in shaping both personal and professional growth. It is not merely an obstacle, but an opportunity to develop skills, build character, and gain insights that success alone cannot provide. Many psychological and educational theories support the idea that failure is crucial for learning and development. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, introduced the concept of the growth mindset, where individuals who believe their abilities can be developed through hard work and perseverance are more likely to view failures as opportunities to improve rather than as dead ends. This mindset encourages individuals to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and ultimately achieve higher levels of success. Dweck's research shows that those with a growth mindset outperform those with a fixed mindset, who often see failure as a reflection of their inherent abilities. Thomas Edison famously commented on his journey to inventing the light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This illustrates how failure is an essential part of the creative process. Instead of giving up after multiple setbacks, Edison viewed each failure as a step closer to his goal. His experience demonstrates that success often lies not in the absence of failure, but in the ability to learn from it. Moreover, failure fosters resilience. In professional settings, individuals who encounter failure early in their careers often develop a stronger work ethic, better problem-solving skills, and an ability to handle stress more effectively. Research by Angela Duckworth on grit emphasizes that perseverance and passion for long-term goals are critical to success. She notes that grit, rather than talent alone, is a key predictor of achievement. In education, the learning by doing model highlights how hands-on experiences, including failures, enhance understanding. When students are allowed to fail, they engage in deeper problem-solving and develop critical thinking skills, which are crucial in both academic and real-world settings. Historically, many innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs have faced numerous failures before achieving great success. Steve Jobs, after being fired from Apple, the company he co-founded, used that failure to reflect, innovate, and eventually return to revolutionize the tech industry. His story demonstrates how setbacks can lead to a period of self-discovery and reinvention, which often results in future triumphs. Failure also teaches humility and fosters empathy, qualities that enhance leadership. Leaders who have experienced failure tend to be more compassionate, understanding the struggles of others, which makes them more effective in guiding and motivating their teams. Recommendations. Cultivate a growth mindset to embrace challenges and view failure as an opportunity for learning. Reflect on failures to extract valuable lessons, rather than focusing solely on the negative aspects. Develop resilience by viewing setbacks as temporary and surmountable. Set long-term goals and understand that failure is part of the journey toward achieving them. Use failure as a tool for personal reinvention and continuous improvement. Focus point 2. Real-life individuals who succeeded through failure. Many of the world's most successful individuals experience failure before achieving greatness. These stories of perseverance highlight the importance of viewing failure, not as an endpoint, but as a critical part of the journey to success. Take the story of Walt Disney. Early in his career, Disney was fired from a newspaper because his editor felt he lacked creativity and imagination. He went on to start several business ventures that failed before he founded the Disney Brothers Studio, which would eventually grow into the global entertainment empire we know today. Disney's persistence, despite numerous rejections and bankruptcies, underscores how failure can be a powerful motivator, driving innovation and vision. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced numerous rejections before her book was published. At the time, she was a single mother living on welfare, and her manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers. Despite these setbacks, Rowling never gave up on her dream. Her story is now one of the most famous literary success stories in modern history, showing that even when failure seems overwhelming, persistence and self-belief can turn things around. In the world of science, Albert Einstein faced significant obstacles. As a young man, Einstein struggled academically and was even labeled slow by his teachers. He was also rejected for academic positions multiple times, and his groundbreaking theories were not initially embraced by the scientific community. Despite these setbacks, Einstein continued to work on his theories, eventually changing the course of modern physics. His story exemplifies the idea that revolutionary success often comes after overcoming skepticism and rejection. Another striking example is Abraham Lincoln, whose life was marked by failure before he became one of the most revered presidents in American history. He faced business failures, lost numerous elections, and suffered personal losses, yet he never wavered in his commitment to public service. Lincoln's resilience highlights that even the most challenging failures can provide the wisdom and strength necessary to lead and succeed. In professional sports, Michael Jordan, often regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, famously noted, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." His reflection on failure demonstrates that even at the highest levels of performance, failure is an essential ingredient for eventual success. Psychological studies, such as those conducted by Angela Lee Duckworth on grit, show that individuals who persist in the face of failure are often more likely to achieve long-term success than those who experience success too easily. Her research emphasizes the importance of effort and perseverance over natural talent. Thomas Watson, the former CEO of IBM, also believed in the power of failure, famously stating, "The fastest way to succeed is to double your failure rate." This approach encouraged a culture of experimentation and innovation at IBM, where employees were not afraid to take risks, knowing that failure would not only be accepted but valued as a part of the learning process. Recommendations: view failure as an essential step towards success, not an obstacle. Stay persistent, even when faced with repeated rejections or setbacks. Draw inspiration from the experiences of others who succeeded after numerous failures. Cultivate resilience and self-belief, understanding that success often follows long periods of difficulty. Embrace a culture of experimentation, where failure is seen as a learning tool, rather. Focus point 3. How to cultivate resilience and persistence in the face of setbacks. Resilience and persistence are critical traits that allow individuals to navigate failure and setbacks effectively. These qualities enable people to bounce back from adversity, maintain focus on their goals, and continue striving despite challenges. Cultivating resilience is not about avoiding failure, but learning to recover and grow stronger from it. One of the key factors in building resilience is developing emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman's research on emotional intelligence emphasizes the importance of self-awareness, self-regulation, and empathy in managing difficult emotions during times of failure. By being aware of how failure affects us emotionally, we can better manage our reactions and avoid being overwhelmed. Emotional intelligence allows us to step back from the initial disappointment and focus on solutions rather than problems. Psychologist Martin Seligman's theory of learned optimism also plays a significant role in resilience. According to Seligman, individuals who frame setbacks as temporary and specific, rather than permanent and pervasive, are more likely to recover and persist. He suggests that resilience comes from adopting a mindset where failures are seen as isolated events that can be overcome, rather than reflections of personal inadequacy. This optimistic outlook helps individuals persevere, as they believe that future success is still within reach. In addition to mindset, resilience is fostered through support systems. Research shows that individuals with strong social connections, whether from friends, family, or professional networks, are better able to cope with failure. These connections provide emotional support, advice, and encouragement during difficult times. Surrounding oneself with people who believe in one's potential can act as a buffer against the negative effects of setbacks. Persistence is another critical element of success in the face of failure. Angela Duckworth's work on grit shows that passion and perseverance for long-term goals are often more important than talent. Grit involves maintaining effort and interest over long periods, even when progress is slow or failure occurs. Duckworth's studies indicate that individuals who possess high levels of grit tend to achieve more, as they are willing to push through difficulties, learn from their mistakes, and stay committed to their goals. The 10,000-hour rule, popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers, also highlights the importance of persistence. According to this rule, it takes approximately 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to achieve mastery in any field. This practice inevitably involves numerous failures, but persistence through these challenges is what ultimately leads to success. The idea here is that success is less about innate talent and more about the willingness to put in the time and effort, learning from mistakes along the way. A real-life illustration of resilience and persistence is the story of Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison for his efforts to fight apartheid in South Africa, Mandela emerged without bitterness and with a renewed commitment to his cause. His ability to maintain hope and remain focused on his vision of a united and democratic South Africa, despite the hardships he endured, is a powerful testament to the strength of resilience. Mandela himself said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." To foster resilience and persistence, it is crucial to have a clear sense of purpose. People who know why they are pursuing a particular goal are more likely to stay committed, even when they encounter obstacles. Purpose acts as an anchor, keeping individuals grounded and motivated during times of uncertainty or failure. Recommendations: practice emotional intelligence to manage your reactions to failure and setbacks. Adopt a mindset of learned optimism, where failures are viewed as temporary and specific. Surround yourself with a strong support network to provide encouragement and guidance. Cultivate grit by staying committed to your long-term goals, even when progress seems slow. Focus on your sense of purpose, using it as motivation to push through challenges and remain persistent. Focus point 4. Practical strategies for turning failure into future success. Turning failure into success requires not only resilience, but also the strategic application of lessons learned. The key to transforming failure lies in our ability to analyze setbacks, adapt, and implement changes that steer us toward future accomplishments. One of the most effective strategies is cultivating a mindset of continuous learning. In psychology, this is linked to the concept of reflective practice. John Dewey, a prominent educational reformer, emphasized that learning is not just about experience, but about reflecting on that experience to draw actionable insights. This process involves analyzing what went wrong, why it happened, and what could be done differently in the future. For instance, after a failed business venture, an entrepreneur might reflect on market conditions, customer needs, and financial management, enabling them to refine their approach for the next venture. The idea of failing forward is another valuable strategy. This concept suggests that each failure moves you closer to success because it brings new knowledge and experience. The Silicon Valley startup culture embodies this idea, where entrepreneurs are encouraged to take risks, fail, and pivot based on the lessons learned. The iterative process of launching, failing, adapting, and relaunching has led to some of the most successful tech companies today. A company like Twitter, for instance, was initially conceived as a podcasting platform called Audio. After realizing that the podcasting market was shrinking due to Apple's dominance, the founders pivoted based on this failure, leading to the creation of one of the largest social media platforms in the world. Thomas Edison's approach to inventing the light bulb is another demonstration of how failure can lead to success. When asked about his repeated failures, he famously remarked, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This attitude reflects the importance of persistence and experimentation. For Edison, each failed attempt was a step closer to the successful invention of the light bulb. His strategy of embracing failure as a necessary part of the innovation process enabled him to revolutionize the world. In education, Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's research on the growth mindset supports this approach. Individuals with a growth mindset believe their abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of fixed abilities, they view it as an opportunity for growth. This perspective allows them to confront challenges, learn from their mistakes, and ultimately improve. Those with a growth mindset are more likely to achieve long-term success because they are not deterred by initial failures. Iterative learning, common in industries like software development, highlights how repeated cycles of testing and adjustment lead to refined outcomes. Agile methodologies, for instance, encourage small, incremental changes based on feedback from failures or inefficiencies in the process. This approach promotes adaptability and quick course correction, which reduces the fear of failure and encourages continuous improvement. Psychological resilience also plays a crucial role in turning failure into success. Research shows that individuals who are able to regulate their emotions and remain hopeful despite setbacks are more likely to persevere. The work of Martin Seligman, a pioneer in the field of positive psychology, indicates that people who practice learned optimism are more likely to interpret failures as temporary and specific to a situation, rather than viewing them as personal shortcomings. This mindset helps them stay motivated and continue working towards success, even after experiencing significant failures. A practical strategy for individuals and organizations alike is to adopt the practice of post-mortem analysis. This technique, commonly used in business and project management, involves reviewing a failed project or effort to understand what went wrong and how similar mistakes can be avoided in the future. By systematically dissecting failures and extracting lessons, individuals can better prepare for future challenges, improving their chances of success. It is also important to embrace calculated risks. Risk-taking is a necessary element of success, but not all risks should be taken blindly. Successful individuals evaluate potential risks, weighing them against possible rewards. When a risk leads to failure, the lessons learned from the experience often inform better decision-making in future attempts. As Peter Drucker, a leading management consultant, once said, "Whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision." Recommendations: engage in reflective practice to analyze failures and identify areas for improvement. Adopt the mindset of failing forward, where each setback moves you closer to success. Cultivate a growth focus. Point 5. The psychology behind embracing failure as a tool for progress. Embracing failure as a tool for progress is rooted in a psychological shift from seeing failure as a negative outcome to viewing it as an integral part of growth and learning. The human brain is naturally wired to avoid failure due to the discomfort it brings. But with the right mindset, failure can be transformed into a powerful catalyst for success. The concept of fear of failure is one of the most significant psychological barriers to progress. Psychologists have identified that individuals often avoid taking risks or pursuing challenging goals due to the fear of negative outcomes. This fear can lead to procrastination, self-doubt, and a reluctance to step out of one's comfort zone. However, research shows that reinterpreting failure as a learning opportunity can help overcome this fear. Behavioral psychology experiments, such as those involving exposure therapy, suggest that repeatedly confronting feared situations diminishes the emotional response over time. Similarly, exposure to failure helps desensitize individuals to its negative impact, allowing them to take bolder actions. Carol Dweck's research on the growth mindset is foundational to understanding how individuals can embrace failure. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are static, and as a result, they see failure as a reflection of their inherent limitations. In contrast, those with a growth mindset believe their abilities can be developed through effort and learning. When they fail, they do not see it as a personal deficiency, but as part of the learning process. This mindset empowers individuals to view setbacks as temporary and surmountable, fostering a willingness to take risks and innovate. As Dweck explains, in a growth mindset, challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, "Oh, I'm going to reveal my weaknesses," you think, "Here's a chance to grow." Another psychological framework that supports the idea of failure as progress is the theory of self-efficacy, developed by psychologist Albert Bandura. Self-efficacy refers to an individual's belief in their ability to succeed in specific tasks. People with high self-efficacy are more likely to view failures as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Bandura's research suggests that people develop resilience when they believe in their capacity to overcome challenges, even after initial setbacks. By maintaining a strong sense of self-efficacy, individuals are more likely to persevere in the face of failure and use it as fuel for further development. Furthermore, failure can promote creativity and innovation. The trial and error method, which is fundamental to scientific discovery, emphasizes the value of failure in experimentation. Innovators like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla embraced failure as an inevitable part of the creative process. By testing ideas, learning from what doesn't work, and making necessary adjustments, they were able to produce revolutionary inventions. The iterative process of failing and refining ideas allows for breakthroughs that might not occur without initial failures. Cognitive behavioral theories also suggest that reframing thoughts around failure can lead to more productive outcomes. Cognitive restructuring, a technique used in therapy, involves challenging and changing negative thoughts related to failure. By reframing failure as a necessary part of success, individuals can reduce the emotional burden of failure and stay focused on their long-term goals. This shift in thinking has been shown to improve performance, motivation, and overall well-being. Business psychology also highlights how embracing failure can be an asset in professional environments. Many successful organizations encourage a fail-fast, learn-fast culture, where employees are not only permitted but encouraged to take calculated risks and learn from their mistakes. This approach fosters innovation and adaptability, as teams learn from failures quickly and adjust their strategies accordingly. Leaders like Jeff Bezos of Amazon have famously championed this mindset, arguing that failure is essential for innovation. Bezos once said, "Failure and invention are inseparable twins. To invent, you have to experiment, and if you know in advance that it's going to work, it's not an experiment." In addition, the concept of post-traumatic growth shows that individuals can experience significant personal development after going through failures or traumatic experiences. Research indicates that people who go through difficult periods and come out on the other side often report higher levels of personal strength, deeper relationships, and a clearer sense of purpose. This psychological transformation highlights how failure can lead not only to success, but also to a more meaningful and enriched life. Recommendations: reframe failure as a learning opportunity by adopting a growth mindset. Focus on building self-efficacy to maintain belief in your ability to succeed, even after setbacks. Practice cognitive restructuring to challenge negative thoughts about failure, and focus on long-term goals. Embrace a fail-fast conclusion. In this audiobook, we've explored how failure, often seen as a stumbling block, is actually one of the most powerful tools for success. Through the stories of real-life individuals, psychological insights, and proven strategies, we've demonstrated how embracing failure can lead to personal growth, innovation, and long-term achievement. We began by understanding the critical role of failure in personal and professional growth, highlighting how a growth mindset allows us to see setbacks as stepping stones. We then looked at the inspiring journeys of successful individuals who turned their failures into their greatest triumphs. Resilience and persistence emerged as key traits, helping people push through challenges and ultimately succeed. We delved into practical strategies for transforming failure into future success. And finally, we examined the psychology behind accepting failure as a vital part of the process. Summary of focus points: the role of failure in growth. Failure builds character, fosters resilience, and provides invaluable lessons that success alone cannot offer. Success through setbacks. Many successful people faced numerous failures before achieving greatness, showing that persistence and self-belief are key. Building resilience and persistence. Emotional intelligence and a strong support system can help us bounce back from failures and stay committed to our goals. Turning failure into success. Reflecting on failures and implementing lessons learned help us pivot, innovate, and achieve greater success. The psychology of embracing failure. Shifting our mindset to view failure as a learning tool reduces fear, fosters creativity, and encourages growth. Recommendations: cultivate a growth mindset. Reflect on failures to extract valuable lessons. Stay resilient and persistent in the face of challenges. Use failures as opportunities to innovate and improve. Embrace calculated risks and see setbacks as part of the journey. Through the lessons in this audiobook, it's clear that failure isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. The road to success is paved with obstacles, but each setback brings with it the chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. Remember, the more you listen, the better you speak. And by continuing to engage with content like this, you are not only learning life lessons but also improving your English language skills. Thank you for your support. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like it and consider subscribing to Media Deem for more educational content. Keep listening, keep learning, and let each failure you face become a stepping stone to your success.